This is the weirdest day ever. Come on. I guess I have to join the... There's no show today. You see me? Oh my gosh. I hope I didn't just ruin it. Come on. I don't know how you can see me. I can't see me. Come on. Please. This is the worst. This is the weirdest friggin' thing ever. Oh, you guys saw me, and I guess I clicked something too soon. This is the weirdest thing, because on my phone, I only see a frozen screen saying there's no show today. Come on. Can you... Well, I will try that, Amy. I don't need this today because I'm not feeling well enough yet. Click on my own link. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you so much, Amy. Merry almost Christmas, everybody. Oh my gosh. Well, you've got to see me really frustrated. I have no idea why I could not see me. Well, at least it's like I still will, yes, I had COVID. Yes, I'm still like in the end of it, I guess. And I didn't want you all to think that I was on death's bed. So I'm like, whether or not I sew or not, I'm going live today so that you all feel comforted knowing that I am alive and well. Thank you so much for saying I look pretty. Makeup does wonders. What I was thinking about was, first off, it may sound really awful, but this is the last episode of Fabrically Speaking Live, and it is not a bad thing. It's absolutely exciting because I don't know if you've noticed, but the school has really not progressed that much, and it is in part because I do this every Thursday, and I don't feel as though, well, I'm having fun with you, by the way, but I don't feel like I'm serving you as well as I could by creating courses inside of the school And participating like this, we will be doing it through the school because the school has now made it so that I can go live inside of the school. And some of you have a really hard time navigating around between the school and YouTube and, all the different ways that you can reach me. So know that it's a very exciting thing. And I'm going to be able to do more pre-recorded videos for my channel, as well as offer you guys courses, which was the whole point of the school in the first place. I can't just do everything for free because eventually I just won't exist because I don't have any income once you buy everything that I have offered to you. And my daughter's like, don't make it sound depressing. It's not depressing. It's exciting. And I do, having the time where I wasn't well and laying there, I realized that I wasn't working efficiently, and I need to do that in order to achieve everything, because I am only one person, so I can't be everywhere at once, even though I kept trying. Speaking of that, one of the things I do is hand make the pressers. So if you're waiting on a presser, I apologize, but I can't breathe through a mask and hold my hands steady enough right now. I'm still a little weak. I'm hoping by Monday I should be able to make the pressers for those of you who are waiting for them. So I got a limit because I have this huge heart and I just feel like I can do everything for you, and I want to give. Hi, Tink. Come here. Tinkerbell says, hello, everybody. She goes, Mom hasn't done this in a couple weeks. You have no sound? Amy, there's still going to be some stuff in this school, I'm still going to be giving you stuff. Just not every Thursday at 2. Oh, after all, I got to keep them in dog food and dog biscuits, Tinkerbell. Just don't worry about it. It's just a different way of going. I mean, I didn't always have Fabrically Speaking Live. I just used to upload whenever I uploaded. And the school still has free stuff. And like I said, it's just instead of just going live and willy-nilly, never really planning ahead for it, I am going to be more methodical and plan things. And there will still be free content on my YouTube channel, as always. And, okay, so what I was thinking would be something fun to do this week is to take fabric and make it into wrapping paper. But not just any old wrapping paper, because, well, how often do you need it? If I take a piece of fabric and I line it with vinyl and we sew the seams with wire, then we can make a lunch bag or a type of bag that you can wrap a present in it. And then you can also then reuse it afterward to put kids' lunches in. Have you guys ever thought about that? Making a wrapping paper that you don't have to worry about people throwing away, and you don't need tape. I'm thinking it'll work, and since a lot of the things I did on Fabrically Speaking Live was try things I haven't tried before, I figure we'll just give it a try. What do you guys think? Go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And all I can tell you is right now I want all of you to give yourselves a hug from me for your patience today, for me getting this all squared away and going live, because I was starting to doubt whether or not it was going to happen. I went to the store and I found a bunch of spray starch in stock, and it was on sale. Only $1.20 something. And for those of you, this is my favorite of all of the spray starch. It's only $1.29 in my store. I can't believe that. Even with the Even with inflation, spray starch is still very affordable. And I'm going to really make sure that I have a lot on here. And the reason is that I'm going to sew some fabric on there to make it look like ribbon. Something I've been wanting to do is to take layers of fabric and layer them on top of one another so that they look like ribbons. We can also use ribbon. So, and you know I have plenty of that. One of the things that I was going to open is the Creative Feet Extensive. I've been talking about it for a year. And so clearly the plan that I've been working on has not been working. But since I have all my camera equipment set up and it's worked so efficiently live, I'm going to be able to create while editing, just choosing the cameras so that we can get that Creative Feet Extensive done. And you can learn even more about the creative feet and different techniques. And I do want to know the center of this, so I am going to go ahead and make sure there's a really good press with it folded twice. For those of you joining for the first time, my name is Clare Rowley. I'm the inventor of a line of sewing machine products called Creative Feet. And today I'm playing around with some fabric. We're going to turn it into gift wrap that can be then used to maybe put a child's sandwich in their lunch for the day, or you can use it to store things in your sewing room. But the whole idea is to give this as a gift so that the person that takes the wrapping off has something to use that wrapping for, and you're not throwing away Christmas wrap anymore. You're just giving away fabric. Oh, thank God we finally went live. I cannot believe how hard that was. So here's it's about a 14-inch square. So if I choose a fabric that goes all the way across, and the idea is to have this end up looking like a present where you don't have to tie the ribbon afterward. You, in essence, sew the ribbon onto the fabric and it becomes the bow. God, I love you guys so much. Hi, Tina, Jennifer, Amy. Did I say Tina already? I'm going back here, see how many people gave up. I can't believe you guys hung out. You are so wonderful. I have this really fun fabric right here. I think this makes a great ribbon. Although the stitch we use isn't going to show up very much. But that's okay. And you're already members of the school, right? If you're a member of the school, you already have access to going in and having me be live in there. I have to learn. They just opened up all these new things that I can do in there. And so I'm going to take a course from them on how to format the best. And then we can start having more fun inside of the school. I really did more of a crease than I needed to. Hi, Tinkadink. I was just going to kind of go, Merry Christmas, everybody. So hard for me just to do that and not teach you something. I need to cut this straight. At least give it some effort. Know that the last 2 Thursdays you were in my heart while I was resting. And I hope that all of you are well and your family as well. I gotta limit how much I do because I have to feel well enough to do it. Well, this would be a great opportunity to use the liquid-based glue. I thought about doing a little quilting. There we go. And I was like, we could just use a ribbon that's already a ribbon. And then I was also thinking, if we had the ribbon stick out, then we could still have the bow on the top. If we use fabric as a ribbon. Remember, I have not thought this through very much. Using our liquid-based. I'm sure you guys were concerned for my well-being, especially when I just didn't even do anything last Thursday. I have like forgotten how to go live without being in the whole setup. I'll tell you one thing, I'm going to figure it out so I never go through what I went through today. So if we have one piece go all the way to the edge, and then this one be longer, then that can be a bow. I don't know. I gotta just do the present, I think. You're right. Sometimes ribbon does not wash very well. And I really want it to hold well, so I'm putting enough on there so that it's not just on the edges. And the same thing here. And then what kind of stitch should I use? I know there's a lot of new members that are maybe have your Satinedge Foot and you haven't used it yet. You could use a blanket stitch for this. But I was thinking it would be faster to play around with the Quilt Highlights ribbon, for those of you who got that. And know that we almost completely sold out of the jean stitch thread once I announced that we got it in, that we are ordering more and should have it in soon. And I really want to play around more with that, especially once I used it for quilting. I think this is going to be a cool little thing to have. And we're going to use the clear cover-up vinyl that we carry at creativefeet.com. It has many uses. One of them is to block embroidery or block your fabric color from showing through when you embroider. Another use is, I had right sides together. We don't want that. We want right side out because it's going to show up. Kind of like an applique. This is a kind of going to look like I pieced it, but I didn't. You can also use your jelly rolls for this. And notice that when I do slide my fingers across, that I have a very, very light touch on the fabric so that the glue does not go through to the back side. We want to keep the glue in between the fabric layers. All right, so now it's pretty much up to you what you do to stitch that on. And we're going to stitch it on, and then we'll make it into a like pillow of sorts using vinyl as the lining. So whatever stitching we do will be hidden by the vinyl, but not completely hidden. What should I do? Should I do a blanket stitch or the ribbon? The ribbon? Everyone's so quiet. This is the Quilt Highlights ribbon. And I'm going to insert the ribbon into the 1/8 inch accessory guide for the Sequins and Ribbon Foot. The Sequins and Ribbon Foot is one of the 3 creative feet, and it has attachments that make it, sorry about my hair in there. Let's see. So when you get the foot by itself, it comes attached. It has a 1/4 inch guide attached to it. And then we have different guide options, which I had all set up today. This is one of them. It has the 1/8 inch guide, and then we have a 3/8 inch guide as well. They don't come attached. This is a separate item. So 1 foot, 3 guides, and then all the different sizes that you could possibly want to sew are within your reach, including yarns and all the different sizes of elastic and sequins. And sometimes you can't get that ribbon through the hole easily. So you just take a piece of thread and lay it down, lay the ribbon across it. There we go. And now it's easy to get those thin threads through. And you just pull and the ribbon goes through. And then you want to use a complementary color thread, or whatever you desire. I think this one works fine. A little burgundy color. Now, should have probably thought about this ahead of time. Let's think. What's it going to look like? Should I make sure that I do not cross over here, or not really worry about it because of what it is? I'm not going to worry about it because of what it is. We'll just see what we get. Now the guide has the ability to move so that you can center your sewing machine needle, and what I'm going for on this ribbon is a straight stitch right down the center, because what happens when you do that is the ribbon spreads out and becomes wider. Okay. I gotta get to where I can see, which I have lots of stuff in my way. And I also need my glasses. That's the first time I said that today. Hi, Tinkerbell. Oh, you're such a good girl. Yes, you are. What do you got on your face? Ugh. I don't know what that was. Piece of fabric or something? All right. Apologize for the sniffles. Yeah, it's not a bad idea to try something like this on a separate fabric first. Instead of watching the sewing machine needle, we watch the front of the foot. We want to keep steering straight. I can be a little bit more off to the side. My hands are way out here. I don't have to put them down like this or hold that ribbon at all. So this is the position I have my hands in so that I'm not hindering the feeding of the fabric. And instead of looking at the needle, looking at the guide, trying to make sure that the fabric stays straight instead of having to hold onto the ribbon and then pull. It makes it super easy to guide straight when you're going and sewing along the edge of things. Zoom, zoom, zoom. And you can see how pretty that stitch is. The light's a little bright. Maybe I don't need a second light today. I don't know. Better before or after? That pretty? I actually, so too fast. So I would say keep your speed under control. Pretend you're on a public street, not on the freeway. I went too fast and I messed up the end here. This way. Whoops, my ribbon is rolling all over the floor now. All right, light touch. We don't want to pull on this because that causes tension on it and it may prevent it from spreading out. Move it over. There we go. I don't know what I did. I must have moved it. So slow. Sometimes we don't have to go fast, Claire. I feel like I'm tasting spray starch. It's not a very nice flavor. Have any of you used the quilt highlights yet? If you have, tell me what you used it for. By the way, we still have our 15% sale going on. And it ends Christmas Eve. Don't miss out on that opportunity. We don't have sales with that much percentage that often. What is going on, Claire? This is how I sew when I'm not 100%, you guys. I'm pretending to be 100% better. Today is December 24th, I think. Or is it 23rd? For those of you who've have been noticing that we're almost completely sold out of our stick and tear stabilizer, know that it is being shipped to us any day. So we will... What the heck is going on, Claire? Oh, I just keep moving it back and forth. That's what happens when you look at the needle. Stop trusting the foot. Time is it? How much time have I actually been live? We won't know today. Such a messy start. There we go. It is the 23rd. You did it on your Dresden thing. I love how you describe things, Amy. My thing. Speaking of things, I know that you showed you inherited quilt pieces, and I don't know if you noticed that it was very similar to my quilt. I was going to point that out. Give you an idea of how you might be able to structure the quilt. And you don't have to make a quilt. You can do placemats. Come on, get over there. Oh. Come on, Claire. I need my awesome Claire to come out. There we go. Things are pulling on it. Come on. Darn it. It's been a whole morning of, come on, come on, come on, camera. Come on, live feed. I've been going live for years. What the heck? It was just so bizarre. There we go. There. What do you think? Now we make it into a usable item, and I gotta find my wire, which should be right here. It is. What do you know? So the goal is to be able to wrap the gift without having to use tape. And like I said before, I never made one of these, but I was thinking wire would make it so that you can bring the fabric up and then bring it up again. We'll see. So even though this is clear, I don't know what I was going to say. I want my brain back. Good morning, everybody. That used to work at shows. I would be really tired after demonstrating for like 7 hours straight, and I would say that, and then my brain would go, oh, it's morning. So I'm hoping that would work today. So I think it'd be easier to sew the seam first and then go around afterward with the ribbon. With the wire. Hi, Tinky Dink. Trying to remember. Do you guys remember? I don't think the glue holds on the vinyl. Not holding the scissors right. These are the Appliquick scissors. When you use them right or correctly, they sure feel good in your hand. I think I'll do a top stitch batting fuzz, even though I didn't handle any batting today. Yeah. I think it'll be easier. I have the vinyl outside or floating past the edge of the fabric, so now I can just go around the fabric with a edge stitch. Try to keep it from moving with clips. What do you all have planned for Christmas? I will be probably staying home to make sure that I don't get anybody sick. But do not feel bad for me. Better that I do not pass this on to anybody else. Tinkerbell, what are you doing? What are you doing? What do you think is food on the floor? There's no food inside of the sewing room. Dogs. A little bit crazy. You have a wand, Brenda? Woo. My daughter just tried to call. She does not know I'm live because she was saying, just go live. And I was like, I don't know. I don't feel like I look good. And so last time I spoke with her, she was trying to get me to go live. You can thank her for me going live. I don't know if she'll try calling again. She'd be so proud of me for pushing through. I'm using a left needle position, and I'm going to moving the guide over 1/4 inch away. I'm going to make sure that I leave a gap, not right where the ribbon is, and not on a corner. So I can have a couple inches to turn the whole thing right side out. How nice that you'll be able to spend time with family, Amy. Increasing stitch length because it's not wanting to feed. So rather than pulling the fabric, if your sewing machine hesitates to sew, you increase stitch length, and it in essence then becomes a person pulling the fabric through for you. I'm just trimming ribbon before I get there. And I'm keeping my eye focused on the guide. And we want to stop a 1/4 inch away. Over the needle, lift and turn. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. Please hit the like button if you enjoy this video somehow. And if you've yet to subscribe to my channel, be sure to do so today, and make sure you join my free online school, Create with Clare Rowley, where we have some free content. In addition to that, I am creating some courses very soon that are going to be very exciting and affordable. In addition to the Creative Feet Extensive, which will definitely be opening in 2020. What year are we in, you guys? Oh my gosh. I'm completely not sure what year it is right now. I want my brain back. Oh yeah. It's 2021. How could anyone forget, right? So this is December 23rd, 2021. In case you're watching it on the replay. So funny, I hear this commercial in my head. Baby back ribs. I'm like, give me my brain back, give me my brain back. Maybe it's because you talk about T-bone steaks. My dad just had some cataract surgery. That's what he's giving himself for Christmas this year. I should have cut this fabric. I left it all frayed. Who's teaching you? Someone who leaves messy fabric edges. This is how I sew when I don't feel like myself. Now I'm thinking about which foot to use to sew the wire edge ribbon or wire in there. And usually we use the Satinedge Foot for this. I really should have pressed this. How many of you are lazy about pressing sometimes? Have you ever gone, oh man, I should not have done that. I should have just pressed and kept on sewing anyway. Of course, this isn't a very precise project. Oh, really? Back in the 90s. And it actually is a product that came out when the Glennon machine released, which became known as the embellisher. And my father and I worked on that development of the Glennon machine with that manufacturer. Some interesting braids were released during that time that you could use with it. Of course, the Creative Feet have been able to use all these trims all along. So if you have a drawer or a shelf full of trim, you could get it out and use the Sequins and ribbon foot. Play around with those. You love to press. I need Brenda in my sewing room all the time, so you can do all my pressing for me. Brenda, did you ever finish quilting your... If I remember correctly, you did a Schloss design. Am I correct? All right, so basically now I need to sew the wire into the seam before I turn it right side out. I think I'm going to use the Sequins and Ribbon Foot again and put it through the little round hole. Let me think about it. I'm going to tie a knot. Or if I make a loop, so I'm kind of just making a big loop and then take that end and twist it. And the goal here is to sew the wire on that little seam allowance, which isn't very much. So I usually use this Satinedge Foot for that, but not this time. This time I'm going to put it through that little hole. Should have done that first. Don't do what I do, do what I say. Do the twisty thing after you've got it in the guide. It's a little too thick. Just start over. Are you wondering what the point of making a loop is? So that when we pull the wire, it stays. So I'm just going to start with a long length. You can always adjust it afterward. All right, and we're going to use the zigzag stitch. Don't forget, Claire, where the opening is. That's where I should be starting. Sorry for the sniffles, you guys. Using a narrow width, 2. Left swing. So we want to center the guide to the needle. I'm going to go 2.5. I don't want to break a needle today. I'm going back a little bit. It's going to be interesting because I still got to put wire right where that is. We'll see what I do when we get all the way around. Definitely use your glasses. I'm going slow just because I've never used it for this. I'm going to go a little longer. I was at 1.5. I'll go to 2.5 on the length. And that's in part because the fishing line, or the vinyl is a little slippery. It's working good. I'm really impressed with myself for sewing. I think I'm going to be really happy with this though. Fun project. Last minute ideas. A gift wrap that gives you a gift. I'm hoping it'll work. Yeah, definitely the wire is completely controlled by the foot. I so seldom use needle down. I mess up a lot when I do use it. My dogs have been so sick and tired of me laying around. But I don't think they think that this is any more fun than laying around. Okay, so I'm having an issue where I just can't see the wire at all. And I gotta make sure it turns the corner. I think I can see it now. Of course, you'll be able to see better than me because you won't have all this stuff in front of you. Come on. If you're just coming into the show right now, I am sewing with wire on the edge of a seam allowance. If I could just see better. Ah! I'm also not feeling well today. If you're watching after December 23rd of 2021, then I'm over whatever I have right now. And the whole point of this is that I'm making a wrapping that we can wrap a gift with that can then end up becoming a way to pack a sandwich in maybe a child's lunch or your own lunch where you don't have to use Ziploc bags because the lining is vinyl. This time I'm going to bend it before I ever... There we go. That last corner was not as efficient as I would have liked. Come on, get in there, wire. Two more sides to go, you guys. Thank you for your patience. Today you win the Most Patient People on the Planet award. Almost done. And I thank God for giving me an idea to do today. kind of fun or hard to believe the foot has such good control over something so out of control. Still trying to figure out how I'm going to do the end. What do you guys think? Do you think it's going to work? Thumbs up if you think it's going to work. Creative Planet Janet. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I should mute. You love the liquid base? I know, it's amazing stuff, isn't it? I'm ready to lie down. My arms are resting on this table and I'm grateful for the table today. It's hard work. I almost feel like I'm perspiring. What in the world is she making? How boring is this? I always try to imagine what it's like to be a person that doesn't know who I am, finding me for the first time on a boring process like this where nothing really changes. The color of the fabric stays the same. The stitch is the same. You have to be pretty patient to find your way to the end of one of these videos. I talk for my dogs too like that. I had this one lady leave a comment. It was so funny. She wrote, 3 hours to make a bowl cover. Who has that much time? I guess I'm not going to find out how, or something like that. And I'm sure she was trying to be nice and also at the same time be a little insulting. And it just made me think, how funny is that? Okay, so I'm going to tie a little bit of a knot. Okay, so I'm disconnecting, but keeping the wire connected. The puppy's running around. She just seems to know when things are about to end. I love the cutters on these things. Works great. What the heck? Okay, time. I got a really good length of wire here. About 5 inches on this one and 11 inches on the other side. I'm going to try not to pull the wire out as I turn this right side out. Uh-oh, Tinkerbell, what are you doing? Do you want Mommy to put you on your chair? She tries to stay away from me. What are you doing? Come here. I wish I had a little bed right here for you so you could hang out while I do this. Oof. Oh my gosh. The best companion when you're not well is a puppy. Don't you agree? Oh my goodness. You're never alone when you have a puppy. A little voice in my head's going, hallelujah. I'm almost done. Vinyl's not as easy to turn right side out. She just jumps off her chair. No way am I going to sit around. We've been sitting around for 2 weeks. I'm on the go. You haven't. So Odig. This is wrapping paper for a present. And what I did was I used fabric instead of ribbon. And we used the ribbon to create the illusion of ribbon for the wrapping paper. And then afterward, this can be used to put a sandwich in a lunchbox without needing a Ziploc baggie. Try to be a little bit green. And it's always fun to have something that you can make really last minute. And this has a vinyl lining. And then I used, no I didn't. I was going to say fishing line. It's another technique that I have, sewing fishing line edges. But this is wire edges, wire seams. Where's the inside here? I'm making myself laugh listening to what I just said. This is what happens when you're just laying in bed sick and you go, what could I teach today? Something I can do where I'm not feeling that well. That you guys feeling sorry for me. Getting those corners nice and clean. I don't have anything to wrap. Gail. Welcome, Gail. So basically I made a pillow. But instead of it being a pillow, it's an empty pillow. And instead of it just having normal seams, it has wire in the seam that makes it so that we can form it. Do I have anything square? I have lots of round items in here. So say we're giving someone a jelly roll. Now you can wrap it with your fabric. And because it has wire inside, you can actually fold it up. And the seams stay. But I really need to show you how I'm going to finish that last thing. So there's your present, and it has the illusion of having ribbon. And then afterward, well, you can use this for snacks for children, for yourself, instead of having to use Ziploc bags because it's vinyl lined and it is, you'd be able to wipe it off and clean it up. Let's clean up the end so I can call this done. Oh, it's okay, Gail. I'm almost done. And then I'm going to take a nap. I didn't cut that very well. Sorry for sniffling. Okay, I had to mute myself for a minute. I couldn't stand listening to me. So basically we got to get this wire sewn into this one little bit right here, which could be done by hand. We don't need 2 pieces of wire. I think I'll use the Satinedge Foot for this. Yep, Satinedge would be the best option. And what I want to do is twist the wires without making them get shorter. Remember, I never did this before. First time for everything means I have to figure out everything about ending. And so I guess I'll tie this in a knot. Another option would have been to stitch the wire on last. Then it would have looked the same all the way around. I know I have pliers. Here we go. That's easier to control. Okay, gotta make sure I don't break a needle on it. Thank you, Sandy. I'm doing my best to get better. Tuck that in. Oh, cut those threads. It's like I tore the vinyl. I didn't do a perfect job. I prefer to do a perfect job. It's so much more fun. It's a job for Satinedge, whenever you want to sew accurately, away from the edge of something. So after this, I'll see you in 2022. I'm going to be taking some time because we are doing our end of year stuff, which requires I do boring things. Well, some of you may find accounting not boring, but I find it a little blasé compared to sewing, don't you guys? I'm going to use a wider zigzag stitch. One stitch on. Glasses. What a fiasco today has been. I almost couldn't go live. For those of you who missed out on the beginning of today, you are lucky to have missed all of the different tries that I went through to try to go live today. So definitely not the cleanest finish here, but you know what? You can do a better job. I think I would do the wire after sewing it. So that's what you should do instead of this, because see what happened was I tore the vinyl on accident. Bring it over here. Ah, come on, Claire. This is usually what I do with the fishing line. I push it toward the Satinedge guide, and then it pushes back. I didn't make it perfect. Something was stopping it from fading. Maybe my elbow laying on top of it. Can't be me. Follow the guidelines for wire edge ribbon, and you will have the instructions to do it wire after instead of worrying like this about finishing your closure. Well, that sounded louder than it needed to be. Yeah. Now I'm going to hand turn the hand wheel instead of take a chance that I got things lined up right. And I'm going to call this done. So it has a little messiness to it, but it still has the ability to form it. And when I was doing that, I was like, you know what? I'll bet it could do one of these kind of gift thingies too. Kind of has a neat look when you do it like that too. So you can see how it is maintaining its form, but maybe just a little extra ribbon to close it up. Still a lot better than wrapping paper that will end up in the trash. And that is what I made today. I made myself a present. What do you guys think? I hope you enjoyed this video, and can't thank you enough for sticking it out with me today as we all go to celebrate with our loved ones. I hope that you have a blessed and most loving and warm of Christmas holidays, or whichever religious celebration that you participate in. Know that you are in my heart, and that I look forward to seeing you the next time I go live. We just won't be calling it Fabrically Speaking Live. I will be doing Fabrically Speaking, and that will be pre-recorded videos, not so fiasco-ish like this going live. And there's going to be so much coming in 2022 inside of Create with Clare Rowley. So make sure you join my school, create.clarerowley.com. And if you already are a student in there, that you turn on your notifications so that you receive notifications when something new and exciting happens. Sorry guys, I had to cough. Isn't that cute though? I think it's cute. I also think this is cute. Okay. If you yet to subscribe to my channel, please be sure to subscribe today. I promise you that there's a lot better content than what you saw today. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, especially after this video is ended. And there are links in the description below this video to help you find your way to the school. Merry Christmas, Mele Kalikimaka, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. I have no idea what. I'm definitely not full brain today. Should never ever go beyond your knowledge when you're not feeling well. I am on the mend. I promise I will be all better very soon. And may you all stay well and all of your loved ones as well. Merry Christmas. Bye.